Hello, my darlings. For today, I wanted to do a love reading for those of you who are maybe wondering where is the situation going, what is happening. I know a lot of people, especially in the kind of Hong Kong Anglo-Saxon world, come to the point in their relationship, in their situationship, when they ask themselves, where is this going? What are we? So actually, I'm going to do a little reading about those kind of things. So maybe a situationship reading, maybe something about needing clarity. So I'm actually going to start with tarot. I'm going to use my favorite tarot deck, one of my favorite tarot decks, because I have several. So let's find out, Spirit, what is currently happening for my viewers. What do they need to know about their love life, and where exactly is this situation going? So tell me about the situation, what is currently happening for my viewers. What's the situation? Oof, okay. So we have the King of Pentacles, but the card came in return for me. So it seems that in your current situation, you may be in a relationship where you do not feel very stable, you do not feel very certain. So what did I ask about? I wanted it to be a situationship reading, and the first card that comes says that you may not feel that in this current relationship you feel stable, you have certainty, you know exactly what is happening. The relationship is not very grounded. So let's find out what is blocking this connection. What is the current block? Ooh, okay. So we have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is conflict. So it's possible that in this relationship that you are in right now, you may not feel very stable, you may not feel very grounded, because you and your partner are arguing about things. Usually conflicts, in my coach opinion, for example, conflicts are opportunities for growth, because conflicts are all about unmet needs. So you might have a conflict around this situation because your need for certainty and stability is not being met. It could be because your partner is not necessarily giving you the commitment that you desire. It could be that your partner is maybe wishy-washy. I don't know. I'll find out if that is the energy in a few minutes with other cards. But the intuition that I'm getting about this is that you are not feeling very stable and very safe in this relationship, and therefore things are a little bit shaky. So these conflicts may come up for you quite frequently, and you do not necessarily know how to take this to the next level. So what is it that my viewer knows about the situation? What is in their awareness about the current situation? That's above. All right, so the Page of Swords, this is communication. It's about speaking your truth. It's about trying to be very honest with yourself. It's about honesty and knowledge. But because the card is in reverse, it could be that you are not even talking to this person that you are here to find out about, that you have not really been able to communicate very clearly with them. With these conflicts, sometimes it feels that we've been asking many times for what we need, and the partner has not been able to meet that need, or simply we have not really been able to find the right answer to the question that we had. Maybe because we didn't know how to ask for it, or maybe because, you know, the communication, the way we asked, sort of fell on deaf ears. So let's see what's not known. What does my viewer not know about this situation? Interesting. So the card that came for what might be just a feeling, a knowing, something in the intuition, is that you have a divine connection. You might feel that this person, even though it's difficult, even though that there is a lot of conflict, even though the communication maybe has stalled and you are not currently in touch with this person, you are not currently in contact, you may feel that this person is your divine partner. You may feel that this person is your happily ever after, your soulmate. And when you have this intuition, it's like a part of you recognizes them, knows who they are, and without really knowing them. We'll find out more, because I feel that this is going to be a relatively long reading. Okay, so what has been going on in the past? What is in the past of this relationship? Past energy, we have two cards. So a lot has gone on between you and this person. The first card, Queen of Swords, boundaries, and Queen of Cups in reverse. All right, interesting. So it seems that the way I'm reading these two cards is that there has been some irrational approach to this relationship. One or both of you have put up very clear boundaries. You said, okay, I no longer tolerate to be treated like this. And I can see that maybe the Queen of Cups came first. The Queen of Cups in reverse is an energy that overgives. So it is very possible that at some point in the past you've given too much to this person, you've tried very hard to make things work, maybe believing that they are indeed your soulmate and therefore you had to work hard to make the relationship work, but you've given too much. You've not found balance, emotional balance between giving and receiving, and by having the cup in reverse, it means that the partner, the relationship has not been filling your own cup. So things have been challenging, things have been difficult, you've maybe tolerated behaviors that didn't really serve you, and after a point you decided to cut this and say, okay, I know my heart wants this, but my head says I need to stop. So I'm getting the feeling, like I said, that you are not in communication with this person, that some boundaries were put down, and you've finally been able to step away from this relationship. But clearly, if you have this deep knowing that you are potentially soulmates, twin flames, or that this relationship is fated and divinely guided, you still need something that needs to be resolved. So let's find out what is the energy in the future of this connection. All right, we also have a page, I think, the Page of Wands. So you would like to reconnect, you would like a fresh, passionate new beginning with this person. So the Page of Wands is a passionate new beginning, is an offer of love, and hey, let's talk about it. We still find each other very attractive. We still want to make this work, but there is this potential. So as I'm doing tarot, I'm recognizing that people sometimes do not understand that what the cards say is not given. The cards represent a potential future. Essentially, I see the cards as a warning that if you continue to make the same choices that you've made before, things might end up this way if both you and your partner continue exactly down the same path. So the purpose of a tarot reading is to actually give you guidance on how to switch, how to change reality, to choose a different version of yourself, a different version of your partner, from the multitude of universes and realities that are available, essentially to reality jump, to change the frequency that your life and your love affair operates right now, so that you can choose another version of yourself and the partner. And in the future, you have this potential to choose a version of you and the partner that is more connected, more passionate about each other, more creative, more inspired. So now let's find out, what is the current advice for my viewers? What do they need to know in this situation? What is the advice, Spirit? Very interesting. So the card that came is the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups says, put this behind. You have to let things go. Now, I'm not saying that you have to let the relationship go, but you have to let go of patterns and behaviors that have not been serving you, that have not actually led to this divine union that you're hoping for with this with the Lover's card that you have in the subconscious. So this message says things have not been difficult. There's been maybe a lot of emotional turmoil, a lot of difficulty in this relationship. We've had the card of conflict earlier, and what this says to me is that it is time for you to leave those behind. That version of yourself and of the relationship and the partner that I was just talking about, you have to jump, you have to go towards a different version of yourself. So the advice is to leave that part behind, that story behind. This advice is not to say you have to go away from the person. It's not to say leave and never look back. It's really becoming aware of those things that didn't work for you. Maybe you had expectations that could not be met by your partner. Maybe the needs were not very clearly communicated, and that story needs to be left behind. So what is in the external world? What are the external circumstances that are surrounding this relationship, Spirit? Let's find out what else you cannot control, because sometimes we think we can control everything, but in reality, it's not possible. So we have the Seven of Cups. So with the Seven of Cups in the position of external, in the external circumstances, it feels like both you and your partner potentially have been looking at other options. At the beginning of the reading, I spoke about this potentially being a situationship that wasn't clear, that wasn't an exclusive relationship, and this card in a way confirms the fact that there are potentially more than one options around. So it could be that either you or your partner or both of you have been keeping your options open. You've kept things still sort of not quite committed, so committed in words maybe, although it doesn't sound like you've been very committed. But this says that also this has created confusion. So without clarity, without knowing exactly where you stand with this person, without making a commitment to each other, things might have been very confusing, and you may have either realistically had a lot of other options, like other people in the mix, or you maybe have imagined, believed that there are other options. And actually, as I look at this card, which was talking about beliefs and things from the past, and this card here that says, okay, and you see you have a 7 and an 8 of cups. So this could say that there was a part of your belief system to say that, yeah, this person has a lot of other options, there are many other people in the mix, that's why they cannot make a decision to be with me, a commitment to be with me, and maybe this is the part that needs to be left behind. It could be true, you may know for sure that the partner that you have in your mind is entertaining other options, and you may need to leave the relationship. I'm not telling you that this is not possible, but it's also possible that it's just a story that you told yourself. So we don't necessarily know exactly what the reality is. Again, it depends on the reality that you chose for this person, because according to the law of assumption, we operate exactly in the energy of what we believe. So let's see, what are your fears and hopes in this relationship? What are the fears and the hopes that you have for this relationship? What are fears and hopes for my viewers for this relationship? Right, I didn't see what the card was, it jumped. And I'll get two because I want to have one for fears and one for hopes. Well, the hopes one is really nice. The hopes one is the 10 of Cups, and the fears is the Moon. Wow, I absolutely adore tarot, really, can I just say. And at the bottom of the deck, 6 of Swords, moving on, moving towards calmer waters. So fears and hopes. And of course, the Moon represents divine feminine energy, represents secrets, fears, anxieties, things that are hiding in the dark. So I'm getting the feeling, the cards speak about the fact that what you are afraid of is that there are secrets, that there are shadows. Shadows are those parts of ourselves that create stories, that are defense mechanism protecting us from pain, the pain of maybe abandonment and rejection and so on. So I believe that in the darkness, when you go to bed at night, you really reflect and are feeling overwhelmed about all these potential threats that might be happening, about the potential abandonment, about how this person might be keeping secrets from you, and that you need to really go and heal. So when the Moon comes up, is an indication that there are inner children, inner versions of you that have told themselves stories that are not really productive for you, that are not leading you to happiness. Because what you really hope is the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is the wish fulfillment, is the happily ever after, the love, the family, the emotional fulfillment that you desire. But at the same time, you live in fear that that might not be possible, because potentially you imagine that your partner has a lot of options, and that is really blocking you. And what you need to do is leave that, go away from it, because with the 6 of Swords, moving away into calmer waters from conflict, from overthinking, from issues, and with the 8 of Cups that says leave the past behind, this is clearly the message for you today. So what is the current potential outcome? And I say current and potential because, like I said, you can choose to jump into a different reality. So 9 of Wands in reverse, so a card of healing. 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior, is the sign, the card that brings this energy of a relationship that has been difficult and challenging, but that has taught you a lot of lessons, that was meant to teach you difficult things. Because if you are truly soulmates with this person, these relationships are never easy. These relationships are always coming with difficulties and challenges, so that we can learn those lessons. But with this card in reverse, with the 9 of Wands in reverse, the message is very clear that you need to heal those inner children that I was talking about, the shadows that are hiding in the night and that are keeping you awake. That is actually what needs to be healed for you. So I'm going to get 2 more cards actually to clarify the potential, current potential outcome. Can I have 2 more, please? Spirit. Okay, so we have Temperance in reverse. 1 more, please. 1 more card. 1 more card. Oops. All right. I luckily stopped it. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the 2 of Cups in reverse, which is this feeling of lack of union, disconnection. So currently, you are not having that. So in your potential outcome, you have 3 cards in reverse. Some of them in reverse is a good thing. So this card speaks of healing. I told you about this, the 9 of Wands, the wounded warrior. Time to let go of those burdens, time to heal your wounds, to allow yourself to find peace and happiness inside. And then you've got Temperance in reverse. So Temperance is a card of patience, of balance, of really finding the way to express your masculine and feminine side. So right now you are not in balance, but the potential outcome here, because even if the card is currently in reverse, it says that if you stay on this reality, on this timeline that you are right now, this balance is not available, and ultimately the Lovers are exactly the expression of temperance. Like when patience and lessons have been learned, when the energies of masculine and feminine have been balanced, then the soulmates can come together and can be reunited. And also you have Hermit in reverse. Hermit in reverse speaks of the fact that right now maybe you are not ready to go inside yourself and to find the light within. You are still looking for validation and an answer outside of yourself, but ultimately in this current potential outcome, there is a direction that you have to turn these 2 cards around. So to put energy into finding the answers yourself, doing the healing, getting into those inner child wounds that are blocking you, because you might be creating stories in your head about other people, about how you need something different from this person. And really balance your masculine and feminine energies, which means that you're going to be able to stand in your masculine power, which is knowing your worth, not tolerating more than, less than you deserve. The feminine being nurturing and caring and loving yourself and putting yourself first, but at the same time being open to receive and not chasing, attracting the right kind of energy. So this is basically the message that I had for you today. I'm going to pull 1 angel card message to see what kind of numbers you might be seeing that might be giving you information about this. So Spirit, give me 1 card, please. All right. I have 2, 0, 0, 0, and 3, 3, 3. So these might be number repetitions that you could be seeing that confirm you what it is. So 0, 0, 0 is guidance, and 333 is potential. So definitely the message here is that you need to follow your guidance. The angels are speaking to us all the time. And 333, there is high potential in this relationship to work out the way you want, but it's here to teach you something. So the message is do the inner work and you're going to find the right answers.